Hello, Salam Alaikum, Namaste, and Sat Shri Akal. No matter where in the world we are right now, we choose to speak up because our mothers and fathers are on the cold streets of Delhi fighting for their rights to live a dignified life, and they're demanding that the three farm bills or ordinances be taken back. We want to make sure they are heard. We also choose to raise our own voices against these unjust farm bills. We will not tolerate any injustice against our farmers. We speak for all the farmers who have been oppressed all the way from 1947, whether it was in the form of loans, debt, cancer, and suicide. Now these farm bills are a death sentence for them. Why? Because on one hand, the farmers will lose their land and become corporate slaves and live in poverty. And on the other hand, the basic right of a citizen to go to court has been taken away from them. Therefore, these farm bills are unconstitutional, undemocratic, and they violate human rights. Now, for all those who have understood why the farm bills are unjust, I'd like to congratulate you. Congratulations. You have logic and you have empathy. For those who have not yet understood the farm bills but want to understand it, this is the time. Please educate yourself on it. But for those who say that they have nothing to do with the farm bills, or they say ki mainu ki farak penda, I have no lena dena with the farm bills, or also those who know that the farm bills are wrong but are continuously denying it and calling our farmers terrorists, anti-nationals, separatists, and Khalistanis. To them, I want to say two things. One, that till the problem does not become personal, we do not care. And the second is that you're still not independent. You're still a slave because you're being manipulated by someone else's propaganda and hatred. You are only truly independent when you form your own opinions. Therefore, stop calling our farmers terrorists. In fact, I want to mention 10 reasons why our protesting farmers are our best moral science teachers, and all the schools of the world and all the governments of the world must learn from them. Now, time and again, the farmers have proved the same thing. That is, that they are here to get back their right and for the farm bills to be rolled back. Now, after seeing all the 10 points, how can anyone call the farmers terrorists? I want to specifically talk about one community that is being defamed because everyone's calling them terrorists and anti-nationals or separatists and Khalistanis. I have been brought up Christian, but I have so much admiration for the Sikh community. I'd like to specifically talk about 2 points. The first point is that the Sikh community stands up to injustice. They were taught the concept of Miri Piri by the 6th Guru, Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji. Miri means temporal authority, which means it's the non-spiritual authority or the worldly authority, and this also includes having a political opinion. I'd like to clarify that politics does not necessarily mean something bad, because there are good politicians who have a democratic mindset and there are not very good politicians who have more of a dictator mindset. Piri stands for spiritual authority. So essentially their guru taught them that a person must be an all-rounder and have both aspects to their personality. So when people say that the Sikhs are giving the movement a color of religion, I strongly disagree. I strongly disagree because it's very natural for a Sikh to stand up to injustice. This is what their faith has taught them. In fact, a Sikh would jump in to save someone else, even if it is at the risk of losing his or her own life. It is the government that is giving this movement a color of religion because they are using religion to divide all of us. So I want to reinforce that we are all one. Especially in this movement, we've got to remind each other that Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, Parsi, Jew, Jain, Buddha, Baha'i, we are all one. The second point that I really appreciate about the Sikh community is that they practice religious tolerance. The ninth Guru, Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, sacrificed his life for the religious freedom of Kashmiri Pandits, the Hindus, for their religious freedom when they were being forced to convert to Islam by Aurangzeb, the Mughal emperor. Not only this, the foundation stone, the first stone of the Harmandir Sahib or the Golden Temple was laid by a Muslim, Mian Mir. The third example of religious tolerance which we see daily is the langar, which is served in every gurdwara every day. The langar does not only mean free food for everyone without discrimination based on their religion, caste, creed, color, but it also actively practices equality of people because everybody has to sit down together and eat without questioning the person next to them. I'd like to conclude by saying that at this point in the movement, I personally feel that it is no longer about who is hijacking our movement and how our movement is being hijacked, because in the whole process, there are three things that are happening. The first thing is that we are getting distracted or diverted from our focus. The second is that the intelligence of farmers is being underestimated. And the third thing is that the farmers are being dehumanized. So again, we need to keep reminding ourselves that we need to be focused on the cause. That is, we support our farmers, we support them fully, that the 3 farm bills must be rolled back. And we speak for all the farmers who have been oppressed throughout the country. As the farmers say, "Assi hak lene aaya, assi hak lekar hi javange," which means we have come here to take our right and we will go back only after our right is taken. किसान एकता जिंदाबाद, किसान एकता, काले कानून वापस लो, काले कानून, आवाज दो, हम एक हैं, आवाज दो,